Hello, everybody. This is our edition of Moksha Coffee, where we discuss important things, I hope important, and where we can give you some light on your well-being based on our many years of experience. Today, I'm going to start this coffee meeting or conversation with one topic, and that is basically based on my own observation through many years of working with clients. I noticed that a lot of people are coming to me with some non-specific issues. So to go for a healing or ask for a healing session doesn't always mean that you have to be sick or that you have to have some physical pain or whatever. So there comes a time in our life where we exhaust everything that we thought it was life, it was important, and we start asking ourselves important questions. And one of those questions is, what's the meaning of all this? So when we're living unconsciously, we are programmed in a certain way, and we keep going and going and going, and one day we just awaken, and all of a sudden the dream is over. So we see reality totally differently. So then we start asking ourselves, what is this all about? Is this really me? Where has my life gone, and where is it going? Why am I here? What's the purpose of all this when I'm going to die anyway, and all this that is built in time will disappear? And this is basically a turning point in everybody's life, and it is inevitable point. Sooner or later, hopefully sooner, people will face this question, and this is where trouble starts, and that trouble is actually a blessing from the sky, but we don't understand it at that point. So it's an invitation for a deeper work on ourselves, to find the meaning of this life, to find the reasoning behind all this, and most importantly, to start the real healing, which is the part of self-realization. And that is the part where we heal the very reason why we're here. So everything else is based or built upon that, and we are kind of circling in this repetitive mode, and time is passing by, and eventually we stop and jump out of that loop. And if we don't have a clear guidance or somebody who's been through this process and return back with more wisdom to support us, then we may feel a little bit lost and lonely. So this is basically the topic that we can talk about. So you, Rosna, you want to ask something?
Yes. So, and people say that I talk too much. So I just like first, before I ask you what to do with that, I would like to share my experience. It was 6 or 7 years back. I used to live, at that time, I used to live in Vršac. It's a small city near Belgrade with my kid. I had a beautiful job. I had beautiful colleagues. I lived in beautiful house, and it was like kind of American dreams come true in Serbia. And one day I was leaving my office, and I remember that day as it was yesterday. I was walking down, going to my car to take my car, and while I was walking, I had a skirt, and I could feel the skirt actually, like playing around my legs, and I had high heels, and I could hear that sound created by, like when you put high heels on the concrete. And I had a key from the car in my hand, and I was like, okay, this is amazing. I have my kid, my car, my job, my good salary, my beautiful house. It's not mine. I was renting beautiful house, and and I should continue like this 20 years. Then I have to retire. Then I have to, like live few more years and die. And is that all? So I was really shocked, So I wasn't stressed with like really any hard situation, life situation. I had a lot, but not at that time when that happened to me. So I was really, I was shocked with that thoughts and with that feelings as well. So in my case, what really helped me to go through that, through all that, maybe I'm still going through some level of that. But what helped me is actually Mohanji, because I was connected to him already for maybe 2 or 3 years before that. But for example, if you are not connected to Mohanji, or even if you are, what we can do, Zoran, because it's really not easy, then you have to go to your work because you have to provide money, and you are questioning actually your career, your job, your purpose, your relationship. There are so many people with that issue today.
Yeah,
What
you
we can
see,
do?
what happens is the actual structure that we built around our life and that we identified with, it's starting to crumble. And as it is crumbling, the body starts to hurt, So because it's been it's been with us for so long, and we identified ourselves with it. And we invested all our energy in maintaining that structure. So our life energy was feeding that which is not true, in the end. I'm not saying that having a job or money and all that is not important, but it comes a time
It's not true. It's
where we realize, yes?
So Zoran, when you say it's not truth, it was truth. I was going to my job. I was existing there. It was truth. But I was not aligned. Suddenly,
But
I was not aligned with that truth.
yes, but
I don't know
it
how
is
to call
not
it.
truth. It is not truth because obviously by holding those keys and observing yourself and questioning whether you're going to go for another 10, 20, or how many years like that, obviously it is not true because you realize there's an end to it, but there's nothing beyond that, So this is the point where
Yeah.
we start asking ourselves, what is it, the truth? If this is not truth, what is it, And this is where life starts to hurt, And a lot of times in that process, we discover that for us to maintain what we believed or what we were programmed to do, we had to suppress so many talents and gifts and many aspects of ourselves. And we've basically come to a realization that we were living a lie, not our own truth, And this is what hurts the most.
Yeah. For example, what was my feeling also? Like, my feeling was that there was no me in my life, even though I was doing all that. But like, for example, it was somebody decided what I will do. Okay, I have to apply because I was I was educated for certain thing, and I have to apply for a certain job. And then actually they will give me what to do. They will give me the days of holidays. They will give me everything. Then somehow I was that wasn't me, and I couldn't decide about anything, like, even though, as I said, it was really good thing. I enjoyed that company. They gave me like even like 30 days of vacation in one moment because I asked in advance. So I had a really good relation with them, but still, I have to ask for everything. It's my life, but I have to
Yes.
ask for everything, actually.
Yes,
If
you
you can
see,
understand what I want to say.
yes, it's a classical issue with the system that we're living in, because for people who are incorporated, let's say they're working for a corporation or company, they leave the best and most quality 8 hours of their life there. So when they come home and when they need to do whatever they need to do, there's very little time left to explore yourself and be yourself, you know. So of course that you felt like that, but it is a paradoxical situation, because I always say that we humans are reduced to slaves and soldiers, you know. There's so much that we think we can decide, but basically we are just being played in this whole uh, uh, game of what is called life. And the system that we are investing ourselves in is the one who is creating all these calamities and wars and everything else, you know. And the human spirit is actually suffering. So freedom and liberation is actually at the stake here, you know. So we can resolve all these issues, you know. We don't need to go to leave this universe or anything like this. We just need to come back to ourselves and come back to our humanity, you know, and
Yeah, but
embrace everything that we basically played all these roles, even though they were wrong. Embrace them so that our gifts can flourish. You know, we can express ourselves fully. So imagine if every person did that, you know. But for anybody to do that, you know, we need to be in a total state of harmony and balance with ourselves. Because if we are living the life which is mind-driven life, and we are neglecting the aspirations of our heart, most definitely those suppressed emotions and wants and aspirations and everything will basically, as an accumulated energy, it will most definitely surface as some sort of pain or disease or something which is encoded in our meridian system. So that's why with kinesiology, for example, I found the quickest and the most powerful tool to actually resolve all these issues, find the baseline and original motivations why we lived somebody else's life instead of our own in the first place, and come back to our own harmony and balance, and then express ourselves as human beings and everything that is naturally given to us by birth.
yes, but when you say, for example, in my case, I was a single mom, so I didn't have any support, financial or any other support. So, for example, I think it would be really good if system can give me opportunity, or not just me, but all the people with that issue, opportunity like for a year or two, so we can actually explore ourselves and go dive deeper, do all that beautiful stuff. But life is not like that. So nobody gave me anything. I have to go there. If I don't go to my job, then I will not be able to support myself.
If
So
you believe
what
that,
person? Yeah, but
that's true.
what
If
you
you
can.
believe that.
But can you explain that? Because I can't. Because it's a. Well, even if that's not truth, my truth at that time, I didn't have any other skill. So I have now many skills, but at
Yes.
that point of time, I was pure IT. So that was all I can do. So what I could, as I said, in my case, there was different circumstances, but usually what people should do, but practically, when you say come to yourself, your harmony, for example, you're a single mom, there is no harmony, you're a crazy single mom trying to survive in that world, what you should do about it,
Well,
how
look,
to how to make the
I
first
mean,
step, second step.
okay, let's let's do this step by step. The first thing which is most important is this term coming to yourself. You know, there's in today's world, you know, there's so much talk about spirituality, being awake, and all that stuff. You know, coming back to yourself is basically coming back to your nature. You know, to what you really are. So if you observe the nature, for example, if you look at let's say you look at the plants and animals, you know, what sort of skill do they have uh, to survive? Do they go to any school? Do they wear any clothes? Do they need to go shopping? Do they need money to survive? You know, so nature by itself is the confirmation of the truth because it is the way it is. Humanity created a lot of issues because we live in the world which is ego driven. You know, our motivations, why we do things, why we manifest things on the outside of us are not coming from the position of inner being, but they're coming from the position of fears. You know, for example, you were driven by fear of existence. You know, if you were uh, if you were, let's say, given an opportunity to maintain your life totally without having to go to work, what would you do? Would you continue going to work, or you would say, "Bugger this, I'm free now"?
Well, you know, like it absolutely depends. I'm free now.
Yes. So most of the people, let's say people who are coming to see me, and look, I'm not saying that I'm above it. I've been through that situation myself. I've been in IT industry. I'm a software engineer by vocation, and I've done my bit. And I've like yourself, I was sitting in the bus, and the realization came to me, like you had a similar situation, but for me that was a clear way out. So I was looking for way out. Um, this is basically the important aspect that that moment of awakening, something that triggers us, so that we realize that there has to be something else which is worth living. Not what we are told. And once when we align ourselves with the nature, once when we align ourselves with the laws of the universe, we are completely provided for. We don't have the issue with money and everything else, but it is the wrong motivation why we're doing things that is actually creating uh, a lot of problems for everybody else.
But it's absolutely really hard to move from that fears, because we are driven, not only me at that time, but all of us actually in that situation.
Yes,
And
it
there are
is.
many
It is
people
actually.
too.
It is belief system. You see, if you realize your highest potential, your true self, you will come to a realization that the whole universe is actually within you. Okay, so the universe, if you look at the universe, let's say in this 3D realm or plane of existence, if you look at the universe, creation and destruction of all these stars and everything, dimensions and all that, it is such a huge and complex system, and universe is totally neutral in its creation and destruction. So the universe, it needs nothing, but at the same time, it is everything, right? So if we believe that we need something external from us to be able to survive, we are going to end up in avenues of life like that. Like you've been through, like I've been through, like many people are experiencing that. So when you come to realize that the whole abundance and the whole universe functions within you, then then you can then manifest the reality which is aligned with who you are inside. And this is basically in terms of uh, uh, technical point as a therapist. It's the first point of healing your lung meridian. because lung meridian, as the name suggests, it looks after your lungs, but the metaphorical aspect of lung meridian is breathing. It is the first breath. It is the sign of life. So this is when we are born, we first breathe in. So we take in, right? So breathing in and breathing out is basically a metaphor for exchange of energy with the universe. So we are receiving and giving, you see? So that aspect of existential fears or pessimism about our ability to succeed, or the inability to find our true purpose, express ourselves the way we are, and all that stuff. It is to do with lung meridian, So if the exchange of energy is blocked, then we can't receive and we can't give ourselves to that. And very interestingly, lung meridian is supplying input energy, or yin energy, to your solar plexus chakra, which is also called business chakra. So if your solar plexus chakra is out, then all manifestation, and in that terms money, will be blocked. So it is really coming down to the question of finding your true self and realizing yourself, and finding your aspirations and true motives why we're doing things the way we're doing.
It looks like we need to understand who we are actually, right? So
Yes.
I'm still translating a little bit, so that's why I have to do that. But when you say that, Zoran, I believe that, absolutely. I believe about all what you said. I could feel that's true. But in order to reach that level of understanding of freedom from fears, as much as I can understand, and through my experience also, is really that's a really high frequency. But in order to come to that frequency, you need, there is a long way to reach there to understand that. So what are the steps actually? Because it's a way, it's a kind of like pathway. It's not like here, how to
Yes.
recognize, this is me, I like this. So it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of energy, it takes, so how to reach there, how to meet ourselves, right? How to figure out who we are.
Yes, I realize that. You see, the first obstacle is like what you said, it's a high frequency, okay? So if you think about high, it implies that we are observing it from a low, okay? So if you remove our positionality, and if you just say to ourselves, it is the truth, So coming back to myself is not a high frequency. It can be high frequency when you are observing it from a particular position, right? But it is the only truth, and it is the most important thing, So there's no talk about high or low frequency and all that, because we're making obstacle for ourselves to actually do that, because at the beginning we're telling ourselves it's too hard, So one thing that how we come to that point is basically when we peel off everything that we are not. So that's the easiest way. So if you are seeking and searching for something, we will never find it, because that which we are seeking for, the object of search, has never been lost. It's been with us all along. It is from my birth. It's my birthright. So it is within me all the time. That's why I can't find it, because it hasn't been lost. So, but to realize it, so rather than finding it, because finding it implies search and experience but the finding it is actually point of realization. That's the big difference, So in order to do that, to find that or realize that within, you need to peel off everything that you are not, And with kinesiology, for example, and emphasizing on that modality because it is quite astonishing, you know. It is able to detect all these falsehoods of our life, you know, everything that we are not, all our survival patterns, social survivals, different survival techniques which we use to survive in this world, in this system or the society we brought in. We can identify it and actually find the flip coin of it, you know, what we actually suppressed, you know, if you're living in a shadow of ourselves, you know, we definitely we have to suppress ourselves, you know, and there are four aspects, like when we're talking about the shadow, you know, there are four elements of the shadow. First, you have to have source of light, which is you. You are the source of light. Then you have to have an object. Then you have to have a backdrop on which the shadow is being projected, right? And then the most important thing, you need to have a witness, because without the witness, you can't actually see any of that. So for you to realize the shadow and the light which is creating that shadow, you have to step into the witnesshood. You have to step into the observer of the situation. So this is basically, and this is when interesting game starts, you know, so to speak. So a lot of things start to peel off, and that peeling off is causing a lot of troubles and pains to people, and for a lot of people, because of that, they end up going to psychiatrists or different types of allopathic procedures, and you know they may end up using um, antidepressants and some mood modulators, you know, and all that is doing is just compressing this agony which is created within that, you know, we came to the point where we need to do something or change something in our life, you know, because we can't live the dream anymore, you know, because we awakened from that dream.
And what you suggest? So what you suggest somebody can do or should do in that case? But I mean practically, not okay to come to a house. So what are the tools, or what are the how to come to yourself? Is there anything that you can, you know, that we can do? Like,
yes, look, I mean, naturally, look,
we
we all have to maintain the practicality of our life, you know. So even like they say that the monkey, when it's jumping from one tree to another, never lets go of the branch unless it grabs another one, you know. So we need to be gentle to ourselves and not be hard on to ourselves, you know, and start working bit by bit. So that's the first step, you know, show some tenderness and love and caring towards ourselves, because we are the ones who need to go through that process. So and then gradually, as we stabilize in what you call high frequency, what I call high frequency is nothing but pure self. That is what it is. Then the outer manifestation will then follow what we are inside. Because you see, if you're looking from the outside, um, uh, the outer manifestation can look the same, you know, but it is very important from which motivation is arising, you know. So if you can still continue going to your work and all that stuff, but if you are going from the motivation of fear of losing a job, fear of losing existence, money, no money means no life, and all that stuff, you know, then you will always be in stress, you know. But if you are
you need to change
doing exactly the same from a position of love or self or high purpose, you know, then you can certainly make some wonderful things, even if you stay in the same career, for example.
Yes, but that means, right, to change a little bit perspective.
Yes, correct. So what
That
the changing perspective, you
can
see,
help
it's
you
very easy
to
to say,
actually.
but unless you know what you're changing, like it's easy to say, oh, work on yourself, change, okay, what do I do with this information? Okay, so what do you want me to change? I'm ready. Okay, what do I need to change? So for example, with kinesiology, all these things can actually be identified, and then you have a clear roadmap and point of focus uh, uh, for you to basically find that point of balance in your life, and then move on with the new understanding and awareness, which definitely due to the nature of it will create a much better life situation for anyone.
So thank you. What I was thinking about when I ask you what is practical, like it's because we as the humans, we need something practical. That's all the words. But like if you are in that situation, and somebody tells you that doesn't mean too much to you, because you are usually like overloaded. You are in the fear, what you will do, how you will survive. Actually, so is there? When I'm asking, what I found really powerful in my process, actually, it's meditation. So meditation, actually, it calms my mind. It brought me at that time actually some silence, so I could, because it was too noisy, so I could actually start observing myself, because people are usually they are like attacked from all the, from media, from family, from society, from everybody. Everybody's attacking people. Everybody wants something. For you, from to behave on this like this, to do this, to do, like expectation, expectation, expectation. So first thing that really helped me a lot, it was actually meditation. At that time, I'm still meditating, and it helps me today as well. Then contemplation, actually thinking about that. But I was not able to think about that before I started meditation, because there was no gap of silence. So meditation created, in my case, gap of silence. Then actually in that silence, I could start doing some contemplation. And then also like tools like yoga, some modalities like kinesiology, Maitri. There are some other modalities as well. I'm mentioning this because we are working this modalities. And then what I recognize also as really powerful thing is to read books, or to listen to some masters, like people who already reach certain level of understanding, and like Mohanji, Eckhart Tolle, and etc. etc. So that also helped me a lot to understand and to dive deeper, and actually to go through that. Do you have anything else so you can add and to this list, maybe, or something? Maybe
Look,
some additional.
yes, look, I mean, it is very important. I mean, what I mean, you open up a complex topic, so there are many ways to answer this. But, I always say, if you look at just a moment of identification with this world, we say, I am this and that. Before this and that, M exists, and it's the connection, so it's the identification. But before M, I exists, right? So for me to identify with any role, anything, even with this body, I has to exist first, okay? Then M, then whatever, right? So first you have to exist. Secondly, you have to have the body, right? And the body has to be healthy. And then you can identify with any role, anything in your life, okay? So those three things at the beginning, they need to be satisfied. So let's now let's talk about healthy body. What is required for this body to be healthy? The body has to be alkaline inside. It's not acidic, alkaline, and that primarily is governed by the food you eat. So eat alkaline food. And that's basically a plant-based food. Fresh fruits and veggies, plenty of it. Drink plenty of water. Exercise, with the human body, if you don't use it, you lose it. So it is known fact that if you stop using certain muscle or part of the body, the body will withdraw life energy from it, and then that part of the body will basically shrink. You will lose the function. So use the body, exercise, food, meditation, contemplation, yoga, everything that is good for you. So stop using alcohol, cigarettes, any other substance which is not part of this body. So go back to your nature. It's very simple. So that is very important thing to do. And then when you satisfy the fact that you exist, that you have the body, the body is healthy, that you are in the body, not somebody else, right? Then it is advisable that you find a teacher or master who attained the high level of awareness, because they are the ones who can basically teach you how to do the same. So it is the fact that it's not the teaching itself that will change you, but it's the presence or energy of a person who attained a high level. So they are the things, and then you continue living your life and see what happens. So look after your body, maintain your body. The body is an amazing communication tool. It is an amazing factory. It is capable of amazing things. So if we align with the nature, and if we function according to the laws of the universe, not human laws or ego laws, then surely we will succeed in anything that we need to succeed in this lifetime.
Well, that's amazing. Well, I don't
Is
have.
it easy? Is it easy? I can't say that it's easy. I can only say that it is inevitable, right? It is the only truth, and it is inevitable. It means one must go through that process sooner or later. Is it easy? Depends. Like I'm going through a lot of situations in life where sometimes I ask myself, how I actually survived. So I'm here. Okay. So it is important that we start moving sooner or later, because usually people don't do anything unless they encounter suffering. So the suffering is the primary mover, and every suffering has a particular aim, and it has a key for resolution built in itself. So without the suffering, most probably the mankind would deteriorate. It would disintegrate. Even though suffering, according to Eckhart Tolle, is a matter of our choice. Unfortunately, it's the way it is, and people don't move in their life unless they get some really good kick in the ass.
Yes, but this is well, because we can recognize easily, when there is a disease, when there is illness, when there is a emotional illness, whatever. But when it comes to this is something which is kind of new. It's starting appear maybe in last 10 years massively. So there is a lot of people actually that I know going through this same process. And what I think is really pressure in that process is if you have a teacher or somebody who is, as you already said, who passed that, so they can really help. In my case,
Yes,
it
but
was
you
volunteer,
know,
helped
by
me
your
a lot.
experience with the teacher and myself with different teachers, um, if the teacher is a real one and realized one, he will always bring you back to yourself. Okay, so every teacher that is speaking the truth will tell you that everything that you are seeking is actually in you. So they will turn you inward, you know, to find you. So that aspiration of your inner self to merge with the higher self, which is the universal consciousness, is actually that process, you know. So that's why the real teacher will tell you that it is you who you need to follow, you know. But it takes a lot of realizations to actually arrive on the true meaning of that.
Yes, that was that was my experience as well. So because, as I said, my group really helped me a lot in that process, and because it was really painful in some situations. As I said, I was single mom. It was really challenging to go through all. So Zoran, I don't have any questions. I didn't find any questions on Facebook, so I was checking a little bit. Maybe just say that you can suggest to all the people that they are looking. So you can suggest topics. You can send us questions through any media we use. So Instagram, Facebook, or personally, whatever. Yep, and we will go through that and through Next Coffee. Next Coffee is in Balkan language, and yep, this is for today. Do you have anything to add?
No,
Do you want
I
to
think
add something?
we covered this subject, but there's so much to talk about this, and this subject is always inexhaustible, and it you know it is something that people are facing in real terms, you know, even though the society is telling you that it may not be like that, but you know, like you said, especially in the last 10 or 15, maybe 20 years, there's a great shift in consciousness globally, you know, and people are coming to to those terms and asking ourselves or themselves so many questions, you know, and it is the sign that people need to look more deeply into themselves to really heal in real terms. So yes, but you know, we have techniques, and as I said, you know, I've seen many clients coming to me with what you know what this would be called a non-physical symptom or non-physical issue, which is basically most important thing, you know.
Okay. So,
Okay,
anything else?
that's all I think.
Yeah, I like coffee, so it's so hard actually to stop this. Okay, so see you people in 2 weeks on our Balkan languages. So it's the same language, just a little bit different. It depends on which country, and there are a few countries there. And I'm sending regards to all the people around the globe
Okay, bye now.
and people on Zoom as well. Thank you. Thank you. See you.
Bye bye.